extremely disturbing things during your stay, but you cannot interfere with them. You can stop following these rules after the clock hits 6 a.m., but must begin following them after the sun goes down. Good luck. At first I laughed. This was definitely a good way to set the mood in a house like this. I was about to throw away the sheet when suddenly I heard a knock at the front door. A chill immediately shot down my spine. This had to just be a coincidence, right? It was probably just the owner coming to check on us. I started walking to the front door to answer it when suddenly I heard a scream that I'll never forget. "Mommy!" My daughter screamed as the sound of broken glass erupted throughout the entire house. I turned around to see my daughter being pulled out through the living room window by some sort of horrifying, alien-like creature. It had dark red skin and was covered in large razor-sharp points. I sprinted over to her and tried to grab onto her and pull her back in. "Just hold on, I got you, Stacy," I shouted. I continued to pull harder and harder, but so did the creature. I thought I was about to finally have her when suddenly her body split in half, and the front half came flying into me, covering me in blood and flesh. The creature pulled the top half of her body out through the window and began feasting on what was left of it. Immediately I screamed, a scream that felt like it lasted for hours. It was impossible to comprehend what I had just witnessed. I quickly turned around and puked violently into the trash can. Just when I finished throwing up into the bin, everything started to hit me all at once. This was what the owner meant when she asked me that question during the phone call. I looked back to see that the creature was gone, and all that was left was my daughter's head. I had to get out there. Just then, my eyes fell on the cursed rule sheet again, and my eyes fell onto the very first rule. Do not exit the house if it is past 12 a.m. My eyes glanced off the sheet and to the clock on the wall. It was 12:05 a.m. I fought an internal battle with myself, overwhelmed with grief and emotion. The rational part of me told me that it was all just a dream. The instinctual and primitive part of me told me that something was seriously wrong here, and I had to follow the rules for my own safety. The distinct ring of the kitchen house phone interrupted my conflicting thoughts. I picked the phone up. "Hi, this is Jessica, the owner of the Airbnb. I just wanted to call and see how things were going so far." I struggled to let a sound out. "Well, anyways, I hope you enjoy your stay, and remember, feel free to call if you have any questions or concerns. Bye," Jessica said as the call ended. I felt paralyzed. I still couldn't process anything that had just happened to me. It was like my world had just ended. However, deep down I knew that I had to get out of here. All I needed to do was survive until 6 a.m. I sat down for a moment and thought about the best way to go about doing so, and I ended up deciding on just sleeping through everything, and that if it was all just a dream, I would wake up back at home in my own bed. I laid down on the couch and closed my eyes to sleep. But that didn't last long. After what felt like hours of struggling to fall asleep, I sat up. It was freezing, so I got up and walked over to the thermostat. 64 degrees, I thought to myself. That's way too cold. I moved my hands to the knob and changed it to 71. As the number on the screen changed, I remembered about the rule sheet and realized what I had just done. That was when it happened. The light suddenly shut off, and I began to hear the same growls that had come from the creature that ate my daughter. It was coming for me. I grabbed my phone and turned the flashlight on and began running. The house was massive and my veins were full of adrenaline.